want to be here, neither do we. That's why we call it the obligatory. We talk about farts, food, mics, kids, $5,000 beds, girls, comedy, and Kermit's butthole. Yeah, maybe the facts aren't right, but here's the obligatory podcast with Kermit and Mike.
Was that Samantha Ivy?
That was Samantha Ivy.
Yo, episode 71
of the obligatory podcast with Kermit, Mike, and the Godfather of Orlando comedy,
baby.
Ken Miller in the house.
I might be drunk. I might be a little buzzed right now, yo.
Yeah, I just got to say, I've been doing this podcast with Kermit for like a year and a half now, and you come here once, you're allowed to wear sneakers on the carpet.
Oh, bro, you broke your
You're
rules.
allowed to wear. You're drinking liquor in the studio. Even Kermit, you got Kermit drinking over here.
I'm be real with you. I got stinky feet. You don't.
Yeah,
want me to take these shoes off,
I
bro.
knew he doesn't wear socks, so you keep your shoes
You don't want me
on.
to take these. My feet stink. I got this charcoal soap I use at home to scrub my feet. You don't want.
No, whenever I forget to slip my shoes off, he's like, "That's why white people are so disrespectful."
No,
Yeah.
I only say that when you get in bed with me. That's
true.
different.
Well, I don't get in.
that way.
You know, until you take the plastic off those covers, you don't have to worry about me going back in there.
So you don't let Mike drink in here?
No, that's not my.
Well, Mike
Not-
don't really
not
drink
my
like
rules.
that.
Mike don't
You
drink.
get Crown Apple, I get 99-cent Zephyr Hills.
First
Ugh,
off, you
spring
open the
water.
fridge, you can get anything you want in there,
Mm-hmm.
and the liquor cabinet's right there. You know where
Yeah,
it's at.
but he made you pour your own drink. He poured mine.
It's a bottle.
It's like a second home around here. It really is. Usually, his girls here cooking for us.
Yeah, there's no food
It's
tonight.
ballers though. I pulled up. He got a little electric.
It's a nice place,
doorknob.
right?
It's got to be $3,000 a month.
No.
All right, you can lie to me if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
I can look it up.
Look it up.
You gonna move next door?
Heck no.
No.
I own a home.
Yeah, I know how that used to be.
Now, my wife watching this. I love owning a home.
Careful, your eyes are
I've
blinking.
never done anything.
Get something in your
Where
eye.
the camera at? I've never done anything better than owning a home.
So what's up? What's new? What's going on? It's been like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, man. Took last week off because actually I haven't seen either of you guys in a bit.
Nope.
I just got back in town like 3 hours ago.
You drove, flew. What'd you do?
So what happened is last Saturday, we hopped in the car at 10 o'clock at night, drove straight through, got to south of the border with Pedro there,
Ugh,
right
I hate
there.
that place, bro.
Got
They
there
need to bomb
like
that place.
That's my if you haven't been to, you've never been to south of the border.
Is that the whole merchandise land?
It's like you see the
I
big
see
Mexican
pictures.
guy in
Yeah,
the
all way
hat.
up, like every billboard all the way up. It's like south of the border, and you get there, you like, what in the hell?
Yeah,
is
it's a
this?
dump. It's a dive.
I've never
straight
seen it.
dump.
I
It's a
mean, I've
straight
seen it,
dump.
never been.
Yep, but to me, that's always been the, okay, here's the keys, your turn to drive now, I'm passing out, stop. So we drove with the kids, got there around 6:37 in the morning, then I passed out, she kept driving, we got to like D.C. by the time I woke up, and then usually we pick someplace around Virginia or Pennsylvania, crash out, but it's like, man, let's keep pushing because we were trying to get to Connecticut. Got to Connecticut a day early, stopped in, got a hotel room in this place called Mystic, Connecticut. You ever hear the movie Mystic Pizza?
Yeah.
So that's where this was filmed, but there's an aquarium there. And that's where my parents used to take me. I grew up in Connecticut. That was the big go there for the summer, stay in a hotel for a couple of nights and go to the aquarium. But I got to tell you, man, my kids are spoiled because they grew up in Florida. They've been to SeaWorld 100 times. So we go to the aquarium. We walk the whole aquarium, and they're like, oh, so where's the aquarium? Like, they thought that was the lobby of something bigger.
Yeah, Mystic is just a fish tank to them.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
got
beta.
that at home, bro.
Pretty much,
Two
they're like-
beta fish fighting each other.
If you come over here, it's our sardine petting tank. What? Mystic?
there's some dude in there fishing, like, hey, man, hey, sorry about this kid.
Mystic is to
Fish.
SeaWorld what the Sanford Zoo is to, like,
Yeah.
Lion Country Safari or Animal Kingdom. So, we stayed there for the night. Then we got into Hartford, Connecticut. And I actually stayed at the hotel that they put the comics up at, the Funny Bone, that Hampton Inn there with the indoor pool.
Nah, we had a different one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I heard the hotel got downhill the last
it
couple
did,
of years.
yeah.
Like, you were staying at, like, the American Travel Lodge Motor Motel.
I had to sell cocaine when I stayed there that weekend.
Yeah.
I walked in and the drug lord was like, hey, you work for me now. Like, all right.
Yeah. When I was going through the Funny Bones, They put you up right at the end of the Buckland Hills Mall at
And
the
then
Hampton
you just walk
Inn.
down the street.
You,
and right
you
to
could
the
do
comedy
that.
club.
Yep. And the hotel had like a nice indoor heated pool. So anytime I go visit family, I stay at the hotel because I'm still friends. I made friends with the front desk clerk when I was going through for the Flame Bone, and they still hooked me up with the discounts, like 50% off, which is awesome during the summer. So the hotel, though, that I think they're putting you guys up in now, one time I was there with the family, I swung in to do a guest spot. Sean Faraday was hosting, so I stopped by to say hi. And the headline was like, yeah, man, can I get a lift back to my hotel? I'm like, yeah, figuring it's right down the hill where I'm staying.
It was not.
I grew up in Connecticut, and where I drove him to, I'm like, dude, you get in there, you lock that door, you put furniture against that door, and you don't come out until the sun comes up. And he was a 6'5" black dude, and he's like, man, I'm black. I'm like, it doesn't matter here.
Yeah, I stayed at, I think it was a Marriott. Right behind it was the TGI Friday.
Right. I stayed there once when I went through with Brad
And
Williams.
so that's where I stayed. And I would walk back, to the TGI to get food.
Yep.
So the first time I went there, it snowed.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been in snow in 15 years. Mm-hmm. So the club manager,
Frederick. Not Freddie.
Not Freddie. Frederick, tells me I have to walk to the club. I said, all right, cool.
In
I
snow.
get out. I start walking. It's snowing.
Because you can see the building from the
I
hotel.
got on a pair of Jordans, by the way.
Oh.
I'm walking, slip. I fall down a hill into this ravine of just water. Mm-hmm. I'm climbing up the hill.
You almost died.
I almost died going to the hill. I found a stick. I used a stick to get up the hill. Like Moses. Like I just parted the Red Sea. I had to run back to the hotel, change clothes because I'm soaking wet.
What was that movie with Denzel Washington where he's the last man on earth just tracking through?
Book of Eli.
Book of
Book of
Eli.
Eli.
I just see you as Book of Eli.
And I'm blind, so I go change. I go back. I get to the club. I tell Frederick. I says, man, you gotta come pick me up. I just fell down the hill. He said, look, we busy. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
buy a pair of lugs that weekend. Just so I could walk
just
back
so
and
you could
forth.
walk back
and
and
the headliner was the guy. He plays the piano, tall white dude.
Oh yeah, it works with what's his face a lot.
He's like banned from like every club.
Yeah, because he said
He said
the
some, like,
N-word
racist
or
stuff.
something
Yeah.
like that.
So,
Yeah.
but me and him, we were walking back and forth
Together,
back and forth, just walking up and down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first experience with that club. And then I came back the next time, no snow. He drops me off at the hotel, Frederick.
same
I said,
hotel.
Hey, same hotel. I said, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I hit you up when I wake up. I take a nap, wake up, 14 inches of fucking snow. Wait, Hartford, what the hell wrong with y'all weather? It was 14 inches of snow. So I took a picture of it, and somebody posted the Big Tim walking behind me.
Oh,
with the bottle
yeah,
of snow in hand. And so for some reason, the Funny Bone Improvs have it where Florida guys, they love to send us up north during the winter. So Syracuse, it snows. Hartford, Albany. Every time I go,
No comedians that know how to deal with snow.
they always send us up there.
Owen
Every time.
Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, Owen Benjamin.
Yeah.
Who was super cool. He was so nice.
Back before he had his racist
Yeah.
breakdown.
I have a picture of him, and two black girls eating chicken wings at T.
Well, that doesn't
That's
show.
what did it.
No, he was.
I have that picture in my phone. I'm not even
He
lying.
was dating that really famous chick for a while. Who was it? She was in the. Oh man.
He was married when I met him. When I opened for him, he was a married guy. He had a kid on the way, or a couple of kids.
I don't even know what he said. I heard about it, but I don't even know what he said. Something
It's
really,
social media.
well, whatever.
You
Social
just-
media BS.
It's not the same. You can say, you can say something back in the day that's going to resurface now, but
Because I think they even had him on Real Laughs or something that
he
posed
Yeah,
some
they did.
controversy
he
or
called
something.
in, yeah.
Man, had a big old deal about it, and I was like, who cares?
Well, that's how it is now. It's
But it lasts for like maybe a day or two, and then it goes away.
Yeah, it lasts a day or two for us, but bookers remember that and they won't book them anymore.
Oh, okay.
They remember stuff like that,
I mean, I guess. I mean, hell, Louis C.K. sold out Side Splitters.
Man, in like 15 minutes.
15 minutes sold
and that's
out.
and that's my favorite club on the planet. So
They're just, yeah,
I'll
whatever.
just leave it at that. I'm there the first weekend of October with Roy Wood Jr.
Oh, that's right. You're
Me, Pedro and Roy Wood Jr.
we're taking a trip up there.
Yeah, me and Pedro headlining Thursday, and maybe the 6 o'clock show Saturday.
You staying in that condo?
Yeah, I'm staying.
Oof.
No, it's cleaned up.
Is it?
PT took over. That condo is nice now.
We just went out there. We were just out there. What?
Oh, that's right. With the green carpet.
Like a month ago.
yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
repainted it. what you see now it was way worse when I used to stay there back in the day. Way.
When are you guys out there?
The first weekend of October.
Yeah, you guys need a host? That's my birthday weekend.
I am hosting.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's just a
hosting-
two-man show?
No, I'm hosting Pedro Middleton and Roy Wood Jr. is the headline.
Oh, Roy Wood.
Because I was supposed to MC for Preacher, and I was already booked that week. That weekend, and Preacher was coming. So I said, "Well, let me get the Roy Wood weekend." He was like, "All right,
nice, nice. That would have been fun. Ken was out there on that show. That was
we didn't go on. No, yeah, we did. We didn't go on Friday. We went on Saturday.
But come up anyway. I mean, the condo got 85 rooms. Y'all can see there.
I'll probably go up to see. I want to see Roy.
Dude,
Roy.
Oh, he's
follow him
killer,
on
man.
Twitter?
Yes, I follow him. I follow him on Instagram.
He's so funny.
So-
So I'm excited about this show. I said, dude, I'll host. Mm-hmm. I will host. And I get to work with Pedro. You know, Pedro is my idol. So Pedro is my idol.
He's a big fan of the show. We've had him on a couple of times.
He's our substitute.
Yeah,
I
Pedro's
love
my
when
idol,
I
man.
love when Pedro comes over. He's complaining from the minute he steps in the door.
Yeah, that's all he
So you
does.
guys do this every week? Drive out to fucking nowhere, Ocoee? God, what's wrong with you guys? Does anyone even listen to this? No.
You know, me and him have been trying to do a podcast for like 7 years.
I would listen to. I would.
But you
quit.
guys need a tech guy, and both of you guys are horrible tech savvy
You,
people.
you know what's funny? When you and I were starting this podcast, there was a guy going around who's like, he's like, man, I got all this equipment. And I'm ready to do a podcast.
Yep, I know who that is.
And I reached out to Ken, but Ken's always too busy to do the podcast. So I was thinking, if you and Kermit are going to do a podcast, maybe I'll get in too. And I'm like, nah, we're good.
Nah, I buy my own stuff, man.
Yeah, who that? Give me his info. I remember my podcast.
he doesn't have it anymore.
You motherfucker, bro.
He's done.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's done.
You write it down?
He's writing his names.
No. You see it on camera? God damn it.
Say a chance to zoom in on it.
Yeah. Blur that out, bro.
Like, you gotta rip that off.
Eat that.
Mike just ate the paper that he wrote the name
that
on.
Dude's my guy. No, that dude's my guy. I love that. Yeah, he was my DJ at my wedding.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, Mike just spit all over the table. Like,
Well, so much for being anonymous at this point.
I love that dude, bro.
We always tell that story about that DJ at the wedding. Like, all right, you guys know the electric slide? Well, do it to this song. What? That doesn't even.
And you know me, I'm picky about my electric
So
slide.
picky.
Where did it come from, Cotton Joe? She got married. I don't think that's the.
Like, watch this. Kermit, what's my electric slide song?
Before I let you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly and
But you didn't want to hire Kermit.
Yep.
Nobody
No,
wanted to hire
Kermit
Kermit.
didn't have lights.
So
He told me. He said, "I don't have your lights.
I don't have
can't do
lights."
it," So I hired another DJ.
I don't remember much about the lights that
yeah,
night.
because Brett was holding a flashlight talking about get on the dance floor, everybody, and he had like a
Brett
Spencer's.
was good. That shit
Yeah,
was
he had that laser keychain.
We don't remember because we were drinking.
There was
It was
alcohol
open bar. It was
involved.
open bar. My wedding was open bar.
Yes.
Which was
we were
great.
talking about my wedding today at my job. All my coworkers loved it. They were like, besides it started late, but that wasn't our fault. But a lot of my,
I thought it was great.
I had, but see,
I had a
on
blast.
my side,
Except for the videographer. I hate that guy.
All right, let's not.
yeah, we
let's
ain't gonna
not
talk about that.
like,
So
I'll
on my
punch
side,
somebody here.
my side was a more mixture of people. I had
The whites.
the whites, and on my wife's side, she had a lot of the African American.
There you go.
Oh, is that?
I didn't know what you were saying, black or whatever.
No, I always wait to see what you say. I'm like, what is it this week?
So we were talking about it, and all my coworkers, everybody talking about, hey man, I had so much fun at your wedding. We had such a good time.
your
It was
wedding was
open
great.
bar. The dancing was fun, and we started late, and we apologized to everybody for that. It was the limo driver, and we had such a good time, man.
See.
And nobody abused it. That was a nice part. Like
Yeah.
even though it was open bar, like everyone behaved. Like there was no like drunken episodes.
But
or
the
anything.
Crown Apple was gone, and somebody
Oh,
brought
well, that
me
was-
some Hennessy Black.
Yeah, that was
Somebody
done.
Like, hey, dog, I snuck this in for you. Like, you snuck alcohol into my wedding? Like, so pour it for me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was funny though, because like I got there, Ken had asked me last minute. He's like, "Hey, I got a guy from work who's doing some of the ushering, but do you mind?" And I've only been to like Catholic church weddings, so I got there, and usually it's like, "Okay, you're an usher. Here's the pews. You help people figure out where to go." So when I got there, I didn't see Ken, so I just figured I'd start ushering. So I saw James John and his wife sitting on one side, so I figured, oh, that's the groom's side. And because it was in this nice art gallery type thing with this huge glass sculpture and just a little section between the segments.
Yeah, yeah.
So then everybody who started coming in, I'm like, if you're with the groom, we'd like you over on the left. If you're with the bride, we'd like you over on the right. And then I finally see Ken, like, after I've been doing that for 40 minutes, he's like, oh, no, man, we ain't doing that whole side thing. I'm like, well, there are people out there.
So my wife was like, who seated these people? Now we know. Oh, she's going to watch. She's going to fuck you up.
Oh, you guys never knew?
No, we didn't know. She's going to fuck you up. My wife's going to fuck you up.
Was she upset with the seating?
Nah, she
I thought, because
wasn't.
I thought it worked out well.
Everything worked out.
It worked out well. And, like, I just assumed the oldest people were, like, important family members, so I made sure they had front seats. I kicked some people, like, down some seats.
Ooh, we're going to talk about this when it's over with. That part she is mad about.
Did I get in trouble?
Yeah, you did.
What'd I do?
I'll tell you.
Oh, I'm
I can't
interested.
tell you on this.
Dang
I
it.
can't tell you. I don't want the world to see it. My wife's gonna so kill you.
For once, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm so glad to hear this.
Yo!
Really?
Did I say me? I meant the other.
And she picked you to do the usher.
I didn't. Well, then maybe.
We were coming up with people for the wedding to do this, and that. She's like, yo, I think Mike would be so good at ushering people. I said, yes, he would.
But you didn't. But at that point, you didn't need an usher. There was no. But no one gave me directions.
We didn't, but it's the protocol of a wedding to have somebody like, yo, sit here. Like a black church. You go to a black church, I got an usher.
I was given no directions. I was working on the fly. The other usher basically just stood outside the parking lot and said, go in that direction. He took the easy.
One of my coworkers, when we were running late, Ricardo, I'm gonna go ahead and shout him out because we made fun of him today at work. He was the one that had everybody go start drinking.
Right.
Because he went to the bar, got 2 drinks, and walked out double fisting.
And they weren't supposed to go drink.
Yeah, and everybody was like, yo, the bar open? He was like, I guess. And then everybody just went out and started drinking. And then we had a good time, man. And me and my wife, we talk about this wedding all the time. It was so dope. Like this weekend, we actually headed to Cancun for a destination wedding.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, my boy said that too.
Don't do it.
But
don't even eat the food.
We tell people all the time, man, like we had a blast at our wedding. We wanted it to be a wedding with a party on the side.
Right.
And it was.
And it was.
Cool.
And everybody had a good time. If you came to my wedding, you didn't have a good time, you're just a curmudgeon.
Yeah, that was your fault.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about your wedding is no one gave me a heads up about the potato bar until after I'd been through the main line.
We didn't even get to see it. And that was our main thing.
I'd never heard of a potato bar.
We picked that right there.
And then they put it, so you go through.
They put it in a margarita glass.
They called my table.
Yeah, I got 2 servings.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if anybody got a picture of the margarita bar, the potato bar.
The potato bar.
Please send
in the
it
martini
to us.
glass.
I'll hit up the videographer.
Yeah, if you do, please send it. We have not seen it. Me and my wife have been talking about this forever. We did not get because it was in that little back room.
I don't know. I gotta look.
It was in the room with the buffet, just in the back corner.
Because they fed us, they brought food to us, so we wanted to go back there and see it. And we actually picked them.
There's a dude that served us.
Yeah, we picked that bar out. That was our thing. Justin went with me. Justin Lawson went with me to the food tasting.
Oh yeah, how did that work out?
Oh, he loved it. We took somebody with us to every food tasting, so they can be like,
"Isn't that funny to do?" Because you eat the food in front of the chef and you go, nah. Like you pretty much sound like, yeah, your food's awful.
And it's not even expensive. You can pretend you get married. Hey, we get married. It's like $50.
Did you do the whole hotel to hotel thingy?
Yeah, we did 12 places.
Yeah, I did.
For $50.
Been there, done
we
that.
had like full meals, bro.
Yeah.
We had legit full meals at like 12 places.
We did that, done that, and then we just ended up doing like Sonny's barbecue.
All right.
I do like.
You can't tell nobody. I got a burp.
Do it.
Don't say nothing. All right. This is secret. Four Rivers was our number one.
Oh really? from all the catering. 4 Rivers.
But, wifey didn't want barbecue at the wedding.
Okay.
But their setup is so dope.
That's good to know.
Their setup is so dope. You won't even notice that it's a barbecue.
That's a barbecue company.
I would do a barbecue company
the way they do it.
And the catering thing was mine. I was like, all right, you can pick everything. I get to pick the food.
Right.
And I had picked 4 Rivers, and she was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Did you guys have a budget in mind for your wedding, or were you just you just started spending and went over?
No, we had a budget. We went $25,000 over it, but we had a budget.
Damn! Oh my God! Over.
Yeah, it was expensive. But it was worth it. I had a blast,
This is why I don't get married.
I mean,
no.
This is
I
your first
had
marriage,
a
right?
blast.
Yeah, this is your
No,
first time ever.
This is my second one.
Okay, second one. So you've been
My
through
first
it.
one I got married in Oviedo in a little church. It
Okay.
cost me like $80.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
no, we went all out. But it was worth it, man. I had such a good. When we got back to the room and we were opening gifts and cards, we were laughing and smiling because we hoped that you guys had a good time.
I had a great
And
time.
Everybody, Charlie Bowie was like, "Yo, I've never been to a black wedding before, but this was dope.
It was
I'm going
dope.
to more." And
Yeah.
I said, "Bowie, I'm your only black friend, so I don't
Yeah.
know what other wedding you going to."
Charlie's like, the only time
I
I've even been to a black church was to put up the cross.
But no, it was dope, man.
Yeah.
And we talked about that at work today about weddings.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers is from Cambodia, and apparently you can't be a bridesmaid if your parents aren't together and you're not single. You have to be single, and both of your parents have to be together,
Wow.
living in the same house and married.
Both.
Both parents.
Oh,
Your
wow.
mom and dad have to be married, living in the same house, and together for you, and you have to be single for you to be a bridesmaid in a wedding for a Cambodian.
That's crazy.
That's some rules.
That's some rules and a half, man.
Like, there's women that don't even want to be bridesmaids, period. And it's like, oh, what? I
Dude,
fit
I
none of
just-
those requirements.
I just saw a picture where a girl had 37 bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many did you have? Like
We had 12.
Yeah, 12. Okay.
Speaking of marriage, did you see? Like, I know a lot of people have been posting about it and stuff like that. But the the people that are upset that Ariel's going to be black or whatever.
Yeah.
But I saw the greatest response I saw was there was some Muslim girl on Twitter. She had her. Is that called
Hijab? Is that
hijab? And she posted.
I might be messing it up. I
Don't
apologize.
you really want me to answer this?
No, you shut your goddamn mouth.
You really want to answer
She
this?
posted, she's like, I'm not racist. It's just that having a black Ariel wouldn't be my first choice. And someone wrote, you're not even allowed to choose who you marry. What makes you think you get to pick your Ariel? And I was like, this is culturally appropriate on so many
Dog,
levels.
when you start your statement off with, I'm not racist, motherfucker, you about to say some racist shit.
Yes. Yes.
You are about to say some racist.
And-
well, the next James Bond, the next 007 is going to be a black woman.
Right.
Oh,
And
is
I'm-
that facts?
The only
It's
reason
facts.
reason I'm upset about that is because I was really hoping it was going to be that Idris Elba. Idris
By
Elba.
the way, that's my twin.
Yeah.
Is it?
I look just like him.
All right.
Yeah, sure. If he uses that face app and age.
Just like him. I tell my wife all the time. When me and my wife about to make love, but like, yo, baby, Idris is here. And I take my
Do you have a mask? Do you put the mask on?
No, motherfucker, I look just like him.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yo,
Yeah.
hey, kill him. I'm trying to get Kermit dog to eat him. I don't know if y'all can see the dog.
This asshole just wants food.
I lost a lot of friends with my tweet because I'm like, for all the use of you that accept that the Little Mermaid's gonna be black, you're gonna be really disappointed when you meet Jesus. And like people were like, unfriend. I'm like, okay, Grandpa.
Jesus from the Middle East.
He has to be brown or black.
the
Or
He has
Bible
a dark
says
tan.
it.
Yeah.
The Bible
He's
says
definitely the-
skin of bronze, hair of wool. Like, I don't know.
He's not Ashbury Park, white, long-haired, blue-eyed, smoking weed, roby guy.
And it's not even black. It's like Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, it's like Egyptian. Like,
He's like the guy we're trying to keep out of the country right now.
Pretty much, yeah. They're going to be mad. They're going to get up to him like, man, why the fuck Jesus look like Jay-Z?
There's gonna be some rednecks going, not my Jesus.
They going to be mad, bro. And all the black people going to be up there doing the nay-nay.
Or the
Like
get,
I
the,
told
the
y'all,
get up.
the get up,
The get
yo,
up.
the get up challenge,
The
bro.
get up
I told
challenge.
y'all, man.
And Brett James is gonna be DJing because you're actually in hell.
Brett, I love you. Don't listen to this.
I love you
motherfucker,
too,
bro.
Brett.
But you gonna get these jokes.
I miss you. Is he still around?
Yeah, he's working a lot. He's
Like stand up or
no. He's does benefits for the VA hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, he's helping me with my stuff. I'm trying to get him to help me with my stuff because I'm at the point where I'm trying to get the VA to give me some new teeth.
What?
Because when I was in the military, they just gave me like silver fillings.
Oh yeah.
So my teeth just falling out. Like I ain't got no teeth in the back. That's why I only talk in the front. I'm always like
Shut
that.
up.
Yeah, man. All my teeth gone. All military, yo.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get Brett James to help me out to get some benefits.
'Cause
So I get some new teeth.
we did
new teeth assistance.
What was that high school Karma Malone used to like once a year they would do something? Was that Oviedo or Ocoee? It was right around here.
No, it was.
It was- I thought it was-
Sanford.
No, I didn't do Sanford. I did Oviedo.
It might, yeah, you might be, because he tried to give me to do it, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, they
I'm
always
good,
do
'cause
it
I hate
as
high schoolers.
Well, it wasn't students. It was always like for a teacher appreciation day or something.
Yeah, I
So
hate
you would go
teachers,
in and
too.
rag about teachers. I hate teachers, but I like money. So, but the last time I went through
I
there,
love teachers. I just hate Devin.
I was gonna say, is that where you're going?
The last time I was on that show was me, Brett James, and Carmen Vallone. And while we were walking in, he bumped into the ROTC guy.
Coming in.
And the ROTC guy started recruiting Brett because Brett had just retired after 20 years. And then it was one of those things where the ROTC guy was like, well, we need another person here. If you go back in, it actually keeps going on your 20 years, or
Wow, I
you can
didn't know
start
that.
getting your money and still claim your pension. So that was the last I really saw Brett doing comedy. I thought he picked up that job.
No, he
was
picked up a job, but it was with the VA hospital. But it's crazy that they didn't even have me, because most RTC teachers stay forever. Like, they gotta die.
because it's a cush job.
It's a cush job. They gotta die to get that spot. You gotta be like, yo, look, Sergeant Major just died, so who want this spot? You know what I mean? Like, it's really like that tough to become an RTC teacher.
Were you in ROTC?
Yeah,
when you were
4
in?
years, man.
Oh, that's right, because that's what kept you from going to jail at one point, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Oh, you don't know this
Yeah,
part
I
of the
don't
Ken
know
Miller
this
story?
No, I don't know, and
Ken
neither do
Miller-
our listeners.
Ken Miller could have had a quite different life.
All right, go on.
So I was 17 years old. It was New Year's Eve, about to go into 1995. I'm laying in the bed. We lived in the housing projects, and my sister lived in the housing projects across the street from us, because that's how hood Greensboro is. It's projects and projects. I'm laying in the bed. Some lady busts down our back door at 2 o'clock in the morning. She's like, he killing them. And of course, my mama jump up. I jump up. We're all ready to fight. Like, bitch, who? You in the wrong house. My sister comes stumbling in. She passes out. She's cut up. Like somebody cut her up. The front door, my brother comes in the front door, blood all over him.
Holy shit.
Come to find out, my sister's baby daddy had stabbed her and my brother and kidnapped my nephew.
Holy moly.
So I grabbed 2 bunk bed poles. I grabbed my little brother Rock. That's his nickname. His name Aaron, but his nickname, we call him Rock. We run to the projects across the street. I jumped the fence. It's a 6-foot fence. This is when I had good Achilles. I jumped the fence. I go in my sister's house. It's blood everywhere. I look across the street. I see the baby daddy running. So I chase him. I run after him. I got the 2 bunk bed poles in my hand. Only reason I call him is he's running in the backyard in the hood. You know, they got clothesline.
Okay.
He gets clothesline.
Like a movie.
Bro. Like, he gets clothesline.
That's
So
where the term actually comes from, gang clothesline.
He gets
Yeah.
clothesline. He's laying there. He got my nephew in his hand.
Oh.
He gets clothesline. He's like begging for and the crazy thing is, he's like 6'4", 270. He's all muscle, but he's cracked up. So I'm beating him with the bunk bed pole.
Oh my gosh.
I snatch my nephew up. I get back to the house, drop my nephew off. I go to my sister's house to make sure nobody else is in there. By the way, her punk ass boyfriend, he ran. If I ever see Cash again, I'm fucking him up.
Yeah.
What really made me flip was when they started putting my sister in an ambulance, and they had the baby daddy in handcuffs on his knees, and I just ran up, and the cops was like, no. And I, with the bunk bed pole, pop. You ever seen the Tom and Jerry when
Yep.
he hits him and the head print is in
It takes
there?
the shape of the head, yeah.
Popped him. Police tackled me.
Oh shit.
Put me in I'm in a holding cell for 8 hours. If my stepdad didn't come to get me, they was gonna put me in general population, which wouldn't have been bad because I had cousins up there. So I go to court.
Family reunion.
Bro, I go to court. They got the stick, and his head print is in the I want to laugh. So they gave me probation. I was on probation for 5 years. I go to my recruiter. I says, "Hey, look, I'm on probation." He says, "Well, you can't go to the military." I said, "Well, look, I had a college scholarship to go to North Carolina A&T State University to be a school teacher. I didn't want to go to school. I really didn't want to go to school. So I told my recruiter, look, I don't want to go to college, man. You got to fix this. I really wanted to go to the Army. I went to court a second time. My recruiter went with me. The judge was a black judge, retired military. He said, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, Mr. Miller? I know your family very well because I done had some family members run through there." He says, "Hey, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge your record. I'm going to rip it up." He gave it to me. He
Wow.
said, "If I ever see you in this courtroom again, I'm locking you up for life." Nigga, I ain't been in trouble since.
Wow.
Yo,
That's a hell of a story.
And I ain't been in trouble since. And I got to work in the White House for 5 years and I told them the White House went and looked my record up and said we can't even find this anywhere.
So if the White House can't find it,
he ripped my record up and handed it to me.
Wow.
And I've been clean ever since. Now I will fuck you up if I have to.
I was gonna
If
say.
it comes to my wife and my children, I will fuck you up.
I was gonna say when I met you 10 years ago, you were in the parking lot beating up a couple of
I was beating
midgets.
up two
Wait,
and then the second time, I was getting beat up at the other bar by my two girlfriends.
Yep, that was true.
yeah, that's when I first started getting into
Really?
comedy, and I saw that in person. I was like, "What is going on here?"
Yep.
Which is my favorite. Me and Mike got a lot of stories. Alabama too, but me and Mike, because we've been on the road together for what, 8 years? 8?
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. So, and hey, baby, my wife is watching this, baby. This is before you. Just want you to know that. So I was dating a girl, and I had another girl. So
That's how.
I had two girls.
That's the best way I've ever heard that
Dated a
put.
girl and I had another girl. So other bar was our spot. You know, Monday night was open mics, but then we would go there all the time because rest in peace, Aaron would always hook us up.
Yeah.
Y'all know Aaron. He's one of our bartenders at other bar who died in a hit and run accident. And he would always hook us up. We never paid for drinks at the other bar in the early days. Never. Am I lying?
Nope.
Never paid for drinks. So we're having a good time. Mike was messing with some nurse.
No, that was the model.
The
That was
model. Red hair. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. I don't know how he get these gorgeous ass women, by the way, because Mike ugly as shit.
That was back in the day.
Yeah. And it is back in the day. This is like early. This is 9 years ago. It's a while ago. It was a while ago. Other bar really just started. We were a year or two in.
At least, because I mean,
Legit a year or two in.
I started 6 years ago.
So I'm inside the other bar talking to the girl that I am dating, but the girl that I was messing around with came in.
Dum dum dum.
So I see her, I'm talking to her, and I'm in full panic mode.
Oh my gosh.
And so the girl that I was dating at the time fucking slapped the shit out of me. My glasses turn around.
On stage.
No. This wasn't open mic night. This is a regular night.
Oh, okay.
So I turn around and the girl I was messing around with fucking slaps me too. So I run in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom hiding out. Now you gotta understand, remember, you know the other bar got that bathroom where you can see out.
You can see the mirror gets
So
double
I'm
A.
looking and I thought they left. I thought they left. The girl that I was messing around with, she was ducked down underneath the mirror. So I walk out, I turn the corner, she started beating the shit out of me, bro. I'm screaming to the bouncers, come get this bitch. Yo, this fat bitch, fuck this bitch. Mike is outside talking to the model like, you gotta meet Ken Miller. He is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. I come out the door, bitch, I'll kill you. Fuck you and your mama. I was like, that's Ken Miller, by the way.
He's like, my sister will come down.
Come down here, fuck you up, bitch.
But yeah, this one girl had him up against the wall.
Choking the shit out of me,
Darren
bro.
Moore didn't want to get involved. Darren's standing right there. Because one of the girls is a friend of the girl.
And Darren like muscles.
Yeah.
But Darren's dating this woman that's 60 but looks 40.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
jeez.
I'm getting my ass kicked, I'm getting beat the fuck up in my bar.
Yep.
Yeah, and I come outside like, bitch, my sister's gonna fuck you up. And Michael's like,
This is
this
the guy I was just talking up on you to meet. Good
But
friend
that
of
was
mine.
That was the early
Funniest
days
guy in
of the other
Orlando.
bar.
Yeah.
We cool now.
Specify in the early days.
We
Yeah.
in relationships now.
Yeah.
All of us.
We're all done.
Yeah. Life's over.
Now we're doing
man.
podcasts.
I love being married.
Yeah, it looks
I love
good
it.
on you.
No, I love
You
it.
got the house. She keeps you responsible. Made you give up the other bar to Kermit. Shit's gone downhill.
Time
Everything's
out. Time
burning.
out. See, I see where this is
No,
going.
no. She has zero to do with that.
No, I know.
I tell people all the time, I gave up the other bar for one reason.
It was a
one
good
reason.
run.
I can't relate with young comedians anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't relate the way, I've been doing comedy 13 years. When I started, Ian Gutowski, Pedro Lima, who is my godfather, and I know he hates when I say that, Ricky Reyes, Mike Allen,
Pat Garrity.
Eric Myers, even though I hate that motherfucker.
I think Ken needs more to drink.
Alan Newcomb, even though, I don't really like him either.
This is all getting edited.
Arnie Ellis.
Yeah,
Like,
I
those were
remember.
my role models.
Yeah.
And when you fucked up, they let you know, yo, you fucked up. Or, hey, you shouldn't be hosting and you shouldn't be doing this. It was a different time. Now I think we're in that, I call people, it's the participation trophy era.
Yeah.
Where everybody feels, well, I've been doing this 2 weeks. Why am I not hosting? Why am I not doing this? And I just couldn't relate anymore. I felt like the old guy. I was the old guy at open mics. And I just felt like Kermit could relate more. He was doing a better job at promoting, get people in, and it's been packed pretty much every
It's been
Monday.
great. Yeah.
And I didn't trust anybody else but you.
But I still feel like I'm on the same page with you. That whole participation kind of error that's going on. Like, I don't get it. Like, I because when I came up, you guys would tell me, especially Mike.
We'll tell you how
Mike
awful
be like,
you were.
Kermit.
That shit was terrible.
That was bad. Like, I was just
bombed.
like that was bad. But I never,
But it's certain comedians you can do that. Because I can tell Dwayne, like, oh, bro, that shit was awful. That shit was terrible. But I can't tell other comedians that, yo, that shit was awful.
But I never
then they're
took
gonna
it.
be on Facebook with the motherfucker,
I never did that.
old ass comedian who ain't working, ain't doing shit. You know,
What I never understand
took it as advice.
is how come it's the people that ask for you to watch a set and then ask for your opinion, and then if you don't
All
give
the
them
time.
like, yeah, that was great. If you give them anything close to critique, all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck do you know? I never said I knew anything. You came and asked me to watch you.
Yo, can we call this episode I Got a Story to Tell?
Done.
So, and Heather Shaw, who's my boo, a lot of people don't like. That's my baby.
First off, I'm a fan of Heather
I
Shaw.
love Heather.
She
Heather-
makes me fucking laugh every time she shits
Shaw
on
is my
somebody.
witness for this. It was a comedian, a young lady, came with me and said, "Hey, Ken, watch my set." Heather Shaw said, "How long you been doing comedy?" She said, 3 months. Heather Shaw said, "You don't want Ken to watch your set." I said, "I'll watch it. I don't care." I watched the young lady set. It was terrible.
Right.
It was bad. It was
3
awful.
months. Come on.
It was awful. She had one laugh, and the laugh was somebody Snapchatting her to make fun of her. So afterwards, I said, "Well, how did you think the show went?" She said, "I thought it went amazing." I said, "What show were you watching?" I said, "Nobody laughed." I said, "How long you been doing this?" Because I didn't know at the time. She said,
Right.
3 months. I said, 3 months? I said, "Baby, you new at this." I said, "You got plenty of time to get funny." I said, "Just keep hitting these open mics up, keep writing, just keep doing your thing." I said, it'll come to you. I said, one of these days, your voice is going to hit you up. Bam. I don't see this motherfucker for like 3 weeks.
Okay, of course.
I get a call from Carmen Vallone. He's like, "Hey, so-and-so said she came to the open mic and you made her cry." I was like, "What?" And
Was it someone from his class?
Yes. And Carmen was like, "I know that's not who you are." So I said, "Carmen, I didn't. I just told her the truth about her set. I wasn't being a dick. She bombed. She was awful." I said, "I told her the truth about her set." He says, "Yeah, I know, man." And, you know, it is what it is. And at that moment, I said to myself, what did you boys say on Lethal Weapon? I'm too old.
I'm too old for this shit. That's when it hits you.
I'm too old for this shit. And she was the reason why I was like, I got to start
You
transitioning.
ruined it.
I said, I got to start transitioning out of the other bar. And then it got to the point where I wasn't excited about going there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people, be there at 8:30 for sign up, and I'll be leaving the house at 8:30.
Yeah, I know.
And I like, "Kermit, are you there? If
Yeah.
you're there, can you please just do this?" And my wife be like, "Yo, aren't you going to the other bar?" And I be like, "Yeah, I'm going." And even she was like, "You don't love it like you used to." I said, I just can't
Not what it
relate."
used
And
to
not
be.
all young comics. Like some of them, like Dwayne, the Jeff Rice, the Chris Winwise, the Christoph Jeans, like, you know, Sean Phillippe. I can still Marvin Esquidor, who's one of my favorite young comics now. I can relate to those guys, but a lot of the newer young guys, I can't talk to them anymore. And that's not a bad thing. It's just I'm old. You know, they want that Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
They want that clout.
And they want that. And I'm not mad at them for wanting that. That's how you get booked now. I didn't come up that way.
Right.
So I don't know how to teach them my way if they want to do another way. So, and it's like I said, if they're watching this, it's not a bad thing that you're in the participation trophy era. It's just, this is the era that you're in.
It's just weird too, because like it seems like when I came on the scene probably in 2008, 2008, 2009, and I had
And
started
came
out in South Florida.
06.
Right. I had started out in South Florida, so I knew some of the guys from up here, so I kind of got my foot in the door. Plus, I did my first open mic at Altamont in 1999. Bombed and gave up comedy for like 7 years.
I'm gonna let Mike keep talking. I gotta pee.
Go pee.
You know, all our guests always got to take a piss.
They ain't in for the long haul
ain't
like
for
we
the long
are.
haul. We
They don't
hold
know. We wear those astronaut diapers to get through this podcast. Like, we could press pause, but who does that?
Nah, we ain't gonna press pause.
So while he's gone, I'll go back to...
The Why Not Lounge days.
no, I'll go back to my vacation, quote unquote.
Oh, your trip down memory lane vacation, sort of.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I took the boys around because I was born in Connecticut, lived there until I was about 8. So when I took the boys home this time around, I take them to all the places I remember from growing up.
Yeah.
And like the first place I took them was like my old house where, you know, I grew up with my brothers or my older brother. My little brother wasn't born yet. But I was like, yeah, see that porch right there? That's where my dad, your grandpa, he was carrying me up, you know, on his shoulders.
Right.
And he smashed my head into a hanging planter, and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches. And Ann was like, wow. And then we go to this park. I'm like, see that fountain over there? I lost control. My big wheel went down the hill, crashed, smashed into that fountain. Why'd you smash into that fountain? Because otherwise I would go on the street in traffic. He's like, wow. And then we went past the Catholic school I used to go to. I'm like, and that's where, you know, I took a pencil from another kid's desk. So the teacher smacked my hand with a ruler and told me, you know, it's not right to take other people's stuff. And he's like, Dad, why is every place we go to
It's all pain related.
he's like, you've been beaten or hurt. I'm like, because these were the best times of my life. And then he just pauses. He's like, that makes me sad. I was like, well, you're in for you're a Hurley. It's all over for you.
That was last week you did all this, right?
Yeah. So we spent 4 days in Connecticut and then headed up to upstate New York, which is where their mom's parents.
Okay.
Where their mom's parents, their mother's parents live in upstate New York.
Yeah, you sounded black on that.
Yeah, the mom's parents. Where baby mama's parents live. So we went up there, and because everything was last minute, like, as always, I've been asking her for 6 months. I'm like, I need the dates so I can plan these trips. I need the dates so I can plan these trips. I need the dates so I can plan these trips. And then all since the week of, oh, well, here's the dates. And so the cheapest flight I could get out, I had to spend like a couple of days in upstate New York. And here's the thing. You've met April, obviously. Here's the thing. Her family, we know each other. I wouldn't say we get along. Like, we're just different. You know, we're just different people. That's all it is, her family. They grew up in that upstate New York, you know, go out shooting and rifles and stuff like that.
Country. We kill our food.
Yep. They build their own houses. They chainsaw stuff. The town she lives in, everything closes up at like 8 o'clock. Like the first night I was there, I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go grab a Coke from the corner store. No, if you don't.
It's like Hartford. Besides the TGI Friday, everything was closed at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, this is like smaller than small town. It's just, and it's nice. The boys enjoy being up there and everything else, but after a week of it, and the funny thing is her brother, like, I saw him, he had just had a baby, and I see him, he's like, you know, I listen to your podcast every now and then. I was just like, I'm sorry, man. Because if there's one thing about this podcast, this is more like my diary. I come in here every week, and this is the most honest you're ever going to hear me. So I've said things on this podcast that I know they've probably heard and don't care for. I talk openly about my relationship with, you know, my kid's mom. That isn't always close to great. And for when he said, I've listened to your podcast, I'm like, oh, he knows everything. Why even bother hiding it at this point? You
That's
know?
such an opposite day because, like, I'm like super cool with my baby mama.
Right.
Yeah.
And he
But
like,
it took you a while to get there, though.
hell yeah.
I remember when I met you, you kept telling me like the dumbest thing I ever did was not staying with my baby's mama.
Yeah, but I was an awful husband.
Yeah.
I was a terrible husband.
Well, I tell people,
husband.
and you've known April since before we had the kids and everything else. I tell people all the time, even my parents, I'm like, she was the good one in the relationship. Anything that made what we had bad was probably me.
Yeah.
Like,
I was a terrible husband, but everything I went through with her and every woman after that, made me a great husband now.
Yeah, you're good
know
to
what
go
I'm saying?
now.
Like I'm a great husband now. Like my wife is dope. Y'all have hung out with my wife before.
Oh,
My
she's
wife-
awesome.
My wife is dope, bro, and I'm happy where I'm at now. My ex-wife, she's happy where she at now, and
Without you?
it is yeah. Without me, with her little white boyfriend, nigga like 22 years old too.
You know what it is too? It's like being up there.
Oh, can I say nigga on this?
You can say whatever
You
you
can
like.
say whatever you want. You're not Owen Benjamin.
I just gotta block my coworkers. I don't want them to know I say
But
the N-word.
I think the thing is like partly with what I do too, because every time I go up there, I feel like I'm around these guys who do power lines or pave roads or build stuff. So like the first night we were there, we bumped into some guy that, baby's mama knew back from the day they worked together at the bar in town. Yeah. And he's like, oh, so you guys just here for a couple of days? And she's like, well, we just spent a week in Connecticut, and then we're going. We came up here, and we'll spend a week here, and he'll fly back to Florida, and then he'll come up in like 2 weeks and drive us back down. The guy just went. He's like, do you mind me asking what you guys do in Florida that you can just take a month off work to travel? And she's like, well, I'm not working right now. I'm like, and by right now, she means the past 6 years. But
Jeez.
okay.
Oh.
And then I don't know if you're like this. I don't tell people I'm a comedian anymore because it always leads to that tell me the joke.
Tell me
or
a joke.
whatever. So I just go with I'm in entertainment. I'm like, I'm in entertainment. He's like, oh. And then she goes, he's a comedian. And he's like, oh, does that pay enough? And I'm like, well, you just asked what we do.
Yeah, I can take
I'm like,
that,
she
yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now I'm up here taking a month off. And he's like, comedian, that's a tough job. I'm like, have you done it? Like, oh, well, no, I just, he's like, I haven't heard of you. And I'm like, well, I always hear Eric Meyer's voice. I'm like, I've never heard of you either, Chuck,
I tell everybody I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I don't tell anyone.
Arrogant with it. I tell everybody I do comedy. Like I keep tickets in my pocket to him.
No, I tell nobody, which makes me laugh when a kid who's done 2 open mics already has a business card and changed his occupation on
that makes me
Facebook
laugh,
too.
People who have or merch or anything like that.
But what's really funny? I got to spend time, like when I was in Connecticut, we spent time with my family, and I have one grandparent left, and he came out. We went to an Italian restaurant. Both my uncles came out. No, not my nieces. My cousins came out. They brought their kids out, who my kids are friends with, and we were sitting there at the table. And my grandfather goes, hey, Mike, you still work with Louis Anderson? Because my grandfather's that age,
Yeah.
Louis Anderson. He loved him from
And
Family
you and Louis
Feud.
good friends, so
Yeah, we're all right. But then my uncle actually goes, oh, well, when you get booked with these guys, it's not like you're friends with them. It's like, the company books you and they're booked. And I'm like, well, sometimes it's like that. But then sometimes these comedians, you form a friendship with them, they'll
You're actually
request
really
you.
friends with
and
them,
he's
like
like, oh, so you and Louis are actually like friends. You text and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And I could tell one of my uncles was kind of like, whatever.
Whatever.
But call Louis on the spot.
But then my other uncle goes, well, what's he like in person? And I'm like, let's find out. So I text him. I'm like, Louis, I'm hanging out with my family. They want to know what you're like in person. And I wait, and we go back to talking and everything else. And then, where is it? Let me see if I can pull it up. This would be great. So, yeah, we go back to talking and whatnot. And then, I get this from... Oh.
Way to go, bro.
Hey, I'm not like you with the blue. I'm not like.
I like how he pointed.
And I've been the one drinking.
Hey, yo, you're supposed to point the speaker towards the mic, not towards.
Well,
anyway.
I don't have the fancy board. Preacher Lawson didn't buy all my equipment.
Hey.
Hey, Mike, how are you? What a great looking shot to see all your family there. I am just like I am right now, except lazier. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. Connecticut, my sister lived in Danbury for years, and I have a fond place in my heart for Danbury and for Connecticut in general. I hope you guys have a great week, and I never know where to look on these cameras. P.S. Mike is one of the best, nicest, greatest human beings, and he's super funny, and he has a wallet that starts on fire, so I just love him.
And that's dope.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it was great because the funniest thing is my grandfather thought he was FaceTiming with Louis Anderson when that
And he's
video came
talking
through.
back.
So he started talking back. I'm like, no, Grandpa, it's a video, but you can send a video back. So my grandfather made this video of like, my wife who had passed away, my grandmother. He's like, we were huge fans of yours and blah, blah, blah. And even when you left Family Feud, we still followed you. So God bless you. Thank you for taking the time. Typical Italian. And it was great because you saw the doubters at this table, and this was like the Last Supper. It was like, you saw the doubters just kind of go, oh, I guess he knows. No, and the other people are like, oh my God, is that Louis Anderson? So.
Yeah, it's like that. When I MC for Guy Tori a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
Guy. Anytime Guy's in town, I'm always there.
Yeah.
And if he's out of town, if Pretty Ricky can't open for him, I'll open for him. So Dwayne Mama loves Guy Tori.
Okay.
Loves him. So I say, hey, just hit him up. He'll do a video and send it to you. Nah, I don't want to. I said, no, trust me. Guy Tori, that cool. Guy Tori did a video just like that for Dwayne Mama for her birthday. So we are friends with some of these comics.
So-
we are actually friends with some of these comics.
So yours is Louis Anderson.
Mine's Guy Tori.
Guy Tori, and mine's Preacher Lawson. Because the
Well,
kids,
mine's Preacher also.
because the kids like, Preacher Lawson? Like, yeah, hold up. And all the karate kids are like, I'm like, look right here. Like, hey.
Preacher was in my wedding. My daughter was like, Dad, oh my God. Is that Preacher? I was like, yeah, baby.
Calm
Dad,
down.
I got to get a picture with him. I said, okay. I said, Preacher, my daughter wanted, before I finish it, all right, come here, baby. And Preacher took like 45 pictures with my daughter.
Right.
Like, that's like my daughter's screensaver is her and Preacher.
That reminds me of Chappelle telling the story about how he took his son to see Kevin Hart. He's like, can we go see Kevin Hart? I'm David.
Your idea. How Preacher famous and my
Yeah.
kids love Preacher.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Kermit does on my videos, by the way.
I know. We've been meaning to talk about that.
Oh, why?
He ain't do none of yours?
What? No.
Time out. Let's not get into this.
What?
I told you.
Told what?
Whatever you do, I would.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about any of
okay.
that. I'm just happy because the first video I saw of you was nowhere near as funny as I know you are in person.
Which one was it?
It was, what was he? He was whispering because he was in an office or something,
the
right?
boxing video. Was it boxing?
The boxer video.
And it went
Because I
like
was at
3
work.
minutes, and I was like, I
was at
love
work.
Ken, and why do I want to punch him right now?
I was at work. I was at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we-
So the car thing is starting to
Look,
work.
he's
a little bit.
learning. He's learning.
But somebody hit me. I was like, "Why y'all was in your car?" I'm like, "It just works. It just. I don't know why all comedians are in their car when they're.
Well,
doing
it
that's our
becomes a
zen.
little recording studio.
Yeah, it's our
That's
little
what
recording.
it is. You're not
But
bothered.
I've had fun. I've had so much fun with it. Preacher, we've already talked about Preacher, and he was like, "Hey man, start doing videos. Try to drop like 3 a week
Yeah.
or 2 a week." And I hit Kermit up. I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" Kermit like, "Just do it," and I do it.
And Kermit will find pictures for
And
you.
he'll find. Hey, you ever seen the? You seen the? God dang it!
Where were you
The
going with
singer,
this?
gay singer of Europe.
Gay
Oh, that
singer.
narrows it down. Elton John?
Elton John. You seen the Elton John movie?
Is it
yet?
sad that I already knew?
Yeah, you knew that
Have
right
you
off
seen
the
the
bat.
movie?
I haven't, and I want to so
I
bad.
saw Rocket Man, and which I love, by the way. I told people, me and Kermit are the Rocket Man. I'm Elton John, and you're the writer.
You're Bernie Tobus.
Oh, okay,
And-
I never watched the movie.
But the thing is, because I don't have to tell Kermit what I want.
Nah.
I might have told you 2 or 3 things in a video.
Yeah, that's fine.
Other than that, everything that pops up is all his idea. And if you watch Rocket Man, Elton John was a singer
And Bernie wrote
with the
everything.
rope, and they didn't have any. Me and Kermit don't argue. I hit Kermit. I was like, I need a video by tomorrow. He'd be like, motherfucker, I got karate tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, whenever you get it to me, just get it to me.
Yeah,
and I'm cool with it.
He's got paid work that ain't going to see the light of day tomorrow.
Yeah, and so that's what we're at with the videos. But we're 6 videos in,
6 or 7 in.
6, 7 in,
Yeah.
and it's getting good. And people love it, except for comedians.
Really?
Well, they love it, but they always got a critique.
Who's
Hey,
critiquing? Fucking
I ain't
chop him in
gonna
the
say-
neck.
I ain't gonna say, why you not looking at the camera? You
Well-
pausing. You looking at the camera too much. Why you doing this? I'm like, but people who aren't comedians like, yo, dog, that video's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause Black Card, my favorite.
The black card is.
You say
is
you like Public Sub.
Public
Black
Sub and then Black
Card
Card for
is
right
my
now.
favorite.
I saw the video for your black card revoked, but I couldn't watch it because where I was in upstate New York was such spotty, and like it really is up there.
The Public Sub one got him people yelling at him.
People were yelling at me.
Oh, yeah,
People in my DM like, yo, Fuck you, B. We love public sub, bruh. I kill your whole family. I'm like, over bread? Like, you ready?
Their bread is
You
super
need
hard.
to watch Ralph Breaks the Internet and realize you can't read the comments, man.
Yeah.
You just got to
No,
post.
But
The comments will kill you.
No matter what people tell you, we're comedians. We're sensitive.
Yeah.
People who don't like, I was when you updated my YouTube channel, because Kermit also does my YouTube channel. It's one of my videos that got like 5 down, like thumbs downs. I'm like, who didn't like
Already?
this
Oh, I
video?
didn't see that.
Not yours. It was the video I did for CMT at the Improv.
Oh, got you.
And it got like thumbs down. And I always assume it's comedians hating.
I have my YouTube videos. I never push my YouTube, which he also gets on me for. But I got like 1 thumbs down on every single video I have. And I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Keep an eye on your girlfriend. What do you want?
We had a comedian that infiltrated our comedy group. And we went and thumbs down all his videos.
stuff.
And then
Oh,
he was like,
really?
yeah. Oh, them videos was terrible.
They're horrible.
Oh, there's been some bad videos.
But
Remember,
we're sensitive. We're comics. You tell us we're not funny. Like, we want to jump off a goddamn bridge.
It hurts.
It hurts.
No, it hurts when
It
it's
hurts.
it hurts when it's from another comedian that you look up to.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
I've brought it up before, but I think we were on the road to Alabama the second time.
Yeah.
And someone had sent us a video of some bad comic doing
was so
7
bad.
minutes.
It
And
was
we
so
both
bad.
went on stage that night and bombed. And we realized it was a ring situation.
Yeah.
So we sent it to other comics.
We bombed. We watched a guy's video.
He was
and
so
it was
bad.
terrible. And me and Mike went up and we both bombed him.
Oh my god.
After watching his video.
Then we're like, this video's like the ring. We gotta,
so
we gotta
send it
trick,
to everybody.
we gotta
Send it
trick
to
someone
everybody.
else into watching it. We gotta hold the kid's hand and make him press play while.
So the first time we went to Alabama, once again, I just want y'all to know I'm married now. This the old Mike and Ken. So we get there, the shows are canceled for the weekend. We already got paid.
Like, we get to the desk
Why they cancel it?
because Grandma Lee had been there for a special engagement the month
And
before.
they didn't have the money for the next week.
And they had already had the regular comedy, so they thought that Bonkers understood they were taking this month off comedy. That message never got to me and Ken, who
Never.
drove eight, 9 hours
So
from
before
Orlando.
we went to Alabama, I said, we're going to get these checks. I go there, Margaret, excuse me, we'll bleep that. The owner of Bonkers answers the door, hands me 2 checks. I give Mike his check, I got my check. We drive to Alabama. We clown it. Was that when I taught you the East Coast, West Coast beat?
Yeah, Ken and I knew each other, but this was our first like road trip. So I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie, I used up like most of my small talk already. And
I told
then
him
he's
about the Tupac Biggie beat.
he started to play
Right.
some rap song. I'm like, I never got the whole issue with the East Coast, West Coast rap. He's like, man. And then
hit
for
him
the
with
next, it was he could teach like a full like 3 semesters on this.
You know the funny thing is there are classes talking about hip hop, the history
we ain't
now.
got nothing to Orlando. So if Orlando
Yeah.
teachers, let me teach it. So we get to Alabama. They give us the hotel for the night. He's like, hey, we're so sorry. You can stay tonight.
Which is a beautiful room.
5-star hotel, Mobile, Alabama. I say, Mike, we're going to cash these checks right now. We're going to our banks, deposit them right now.
And he called the owner, and the owner said, well, what I'll let you do is I'll let you guys keep half for your troubles. But here's the thing. I was working a day job at the time. I had taken the day job off for the weekend, and I was counting on all that money. And I told Ken, plus I'm getting paid half of what Ken's getting paid because he's headlining and I'm featuring. And I'm like, plus I was planning on selling merch, of course.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I can't afford to go home without this money. And Ken's like, man, we ain't giving them shit.
Yeah. Because I know she's not going to come back, but like, I want my money because she's not like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we deposit checks. So we decide we're going to go bar hopping. We bar hopping. And I take Mike to an all black bar.
Now, mind you, we went to like 3 different bars first that were whites. And it was like, hey guys, how you doing? Welcome Mobile. Come on in, sit down, grab a drink. The one black bar in town, there's a huge bouncer like Warren Sapp, but 3
Patting
feet
us
taller
down.
at the door.
How did we get in though?
He's patting us down, and he lets Ken go through, and then he's patting me down, and he's like, all right, these guys are good. And Ken's like, show him the wallet. So I open up the wallet, and this guy is like 6'5", huge, Warren Sapp, jumps out, what the fuck? And Ken's like, he's like, all right, you guys are good. So we go in, and as soon as I get in, I'm just like, I cannot leave Ken's side. Like, but then Ken leaves my side.
I leave him by himself.
And I fend for myself for a good amount of time. Next time I see Ken, and remember, this was years ago when Ken was single.
When I was single.
He's talking to this girl. She had to have used a fake ID to get in there. She's hot, but she's definitely young hot.
Young.
So then Ken tells
me. She got like.
And she's got a friend with her.
Yeah.
And Ken, I asked Ken, I'm like, well, man, I think I'm heading back to the hotel. He's like, man, I'm in like 4 drinks to these girls. He's like, so I'm going to hang here for a little bit. I'm like, all right, fine. So I head out, you know. The next thing I know, I talked to Ken the next day because we got separate rooms and everything else. And I guess he went on to,
Right, so buy these motherfuckers drinks all night.
Right.
I said, I figure I'm about to take somebody back to the room. It's on. We go to the Waffle House.
Oh no.
And I feed these motherfuckers.
which wasn't close to where we were staying either.
And they driving. They driving me everywhere, yo.
Okay.
I feed them. She takes me back to my hotel. I'm like, yo, you coming out? She's like, I gotta work in the morning. She's a nurse. I gotta work in the morning. Like what time? Like at 6. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Gives me a fucking kiss on the cheek and gets on her car and drives off. I spent $200 on these motherfuckers. Yeah, I got a kiss on the cheek. And we talking about this shit the whole ride.
Yeah. The next day, he's like, this is why you don't mess with young girls.
Yeah.
He's like, married woman would have been back to the hotel. She would have gave me money not to wake her kids.
I dropped $200.
That was like a
on her
third
and
of
her
his
friend.
pay for
Drinks.
a kiss on the
A
cheek.
kiss on the cheek.
Waffle
House. Kiss
So
on the cheek.
then he's a little bit, he's good though, because he's not hungover. He's old Ken that can drink all night and be fine.
Can't drink no more
So-
now. I'm drunk right now.
we hop in the car and we're heading back, and all of a sudden there's just this cop behind us following us.
Yes, I forgot about that.
There's this cop that just follows us, like, and we're not going fast. We're
Yeah,
doing the
at
speed
all.
limit. Other
We got in the
cars.
slow lane.
Yeah, we were in the slow lane.
and
He got
still
behind us.
followed.
Other cars are zipping past us, and this cop is behind us. And I just look at Ken. I'm like, what do you think this cop's problem is? He's like, dude, it's a black guy and a white guy in a car in Alabama. Do I need to explain what's going on here? I'm like, no, what's going on? He's like, have you never ridden with a black guy? I'm like, no. He's like, this is life. And then, sure enough, as soon as we got to the Florida-Alabama line, he pulled a Yui. He just wanted to make sure that wasn't going on in his
followed
state.
us through the whole
While
shit.
other people sped fast, and we hadn't done a thing wrong.
He followed us the whole state of Alabama.
Wow.
Once we got there, he turned around and went the other way.
I still don't know what that was about.
No lie.
I still don't get it.
And that was our last road trip.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah.
I still haven't
We've
done
done
After
other
that-
road trips like Port St. Lucie and stuff, but
after
nothing
that,
like big.
Then I started doing the box of chocolates.
You start well.
Alabama.
They also they moved me up to headliner because
I didn't need Mike no more.
I had my kid on the way,
Ain't
and I'm like, well, I'll take more money.
And I like my features to be killers. I want somebody in front of me that's gonna bring the crowd up, and I just ride that way.
Ride that wave. Yeah, I love that.
That's why I always love Preacher in front of me, Justin in front of me, Danny Davenport in front of me, Mike in front of me. So right now, my new comics are Jeff Wright and Chris Renoir and
Yeah.
Ray Reyes. Those are my new features now.
And Dwayne.
No, Dwayne MCing. He ain't ready to feature yet. He
Yeah?
only got like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a good time.
But he honest with him. He honest
Yeah.
with that. He's like, look,
Yeah.
bro, I ain't got 30 minutes, so
He's got more forehead than he has time.
that motherfucking head big as shit.
It's like a balloon animal.
It's okay.
man.
Bowling head
I
ass.
keep seeing him popping up in commercials where he's playing a husband. I'm like, man, can't even get a date.
Bro, every video,
You see what I do?
videos, fucking Kermit put his head in the fucking video.
We gotta have Dwayne on the show sometime.
Yeah, you do.
That way Ken doesn't have to get up and make his own drink.
I just walk in here like, Dwayne.
Nah, he's good, man. He hit a little point where he was cocky for a few weeks, and you knocked it
But
out.
I
of him.
take care of all the cockiness. Ben Brainerd, too, he was super cocky, and I told him to sit his ass down. And now he's one of my comedy sons. So,
You think so?
yeah.
It's always funny how that works. You gotta like kind of punch. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I love that kid. But
man.
like I said, it's a lot of young comics, and I went to the bathroom doing that whole part. It's a lot of young comics that I really, really like.
Well, I just think when I came up here, there was less open mics, obviously.
It was,
so
100%
the
less
scene's great, but there was more paid rooms because Bonkers had actual time.
5 or 6 rooms.
And
Was the Improv open when you got here? Or it was closed at the end?
No, the Improv on Church Street was closed, but the Orlando Improv was just reopened. Okay. I was here for when it reopened, which was a good time to be here. But I feel like there was less comics on the scene. You would still get 30 comics at Altamont, but there were guys who were just trying comedy. Yeah. They weren't part of, the scene was really like 20 of us, and we were all guys who were actually working and making money and doing stuff.
We were all friends. We hung out.
We were all friends, and you had people who didn't like each other,
but we still hung
but you
out.
Still hung out, and it would go back and forth. And now it just seems like when I look in the the comedy scene forum on Facebook or whatever, most of the people doing the talking are people that I'm like, you don't,
or
it's
they
not
don't have. They don't
it's
have
not even never heard of. I heard you, but. It's like, what are you doing? Because for us, the whole goal was to make this the job and make money doing what we love. And it seems like there's a lot of people that are just content with being on showcases at breweries for the rest of your life and telling other people what comedy should be.
Yeah, it's like that, man. But it's also some young comics that I think are going to be super dope. Like I said,
Chris Renoir, Jeff Wright,
Christoph Jean.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to go to the ladies, Andresia Baker was one of my favorite young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess her name up. Demetria up in Tampa, one of my favorite young ladies. Amanda Wilson.
Amanda's really funny, and then Maria,
another one funny.
I think Jackie Sanchez.
I haven't seen her.
Out of South Florida.
Yeah, she's funny.
I may have seen her. I
she's
may not
funny.
remember it. But it's some young comics that I really love, man, and that I can tell them what I feel about their set, and they're not mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going on. We call it Twitter fingers. They ain't on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like, fuck Ken. This motherfucker don't know shit about comedy. I've been doing this 13 years. He don't know shit about the game. You know what I'm saying? It happens like that. But the Andresias, the Marias, the Amandas, the Dwaynes, the Jollies.
Mm-hmm.
I see potential in all those guys, and those are the guys that I want to come do. Chris Alexander, Sensibella, Jake Rika. I see the potential in all of them, man, and I just want them to be great. And I don't mind giving them a guest spot.
Yeah.
I don't mind having them host for me one night. I don't mind giving them an off night at the Improv. I love working with all of them. And that's my favorite part of comedy. My favorite part of comedy is watching comedians grow.
And I like the hangout. I mean, honestly,
the hangout's
the best.
Part. The second favorite. But watching comedians grow, to watch a comedian from, and I use Mike Charette as my example. When we started Other Bar, Mike Charette was terrible. That motherfucker bombed for almost a year. And then one day, I'm outside the Other Bar, I'm drinking, and that's my wife called it. I'm drinking. I'm like, somebody in here killing. Who the fuck is killing? And I walk in, and it's Mike Charette. He found his voice.
Yeah.
He found the right jokes.
He found the right jokes.
Wonder where he found them.
Yeah, he found them from Hurley. He found the right jokes. Mike, I'm kidding, Mike.
Oh, no, I'm totally kidding.
I'm kidding. We're kidding. If you're a comedian,
some of them belong to Lenny Bruce.
Relax. But and I tell you all the time, Mike Charette at the time, him and what's the other Jiggy were my favorite young comics at the time.
Yeah.
And, Justin had blew up, Akeem had blew up, Preacher had blew up, Jari Wright had blew up, Will Mills, another one of my favorite kids. I love watching young comics get better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the reason I love it is because I was a young comic, and there was some headliners before us that love to watch us get better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a young comic, if you come up to me and you're like, yo, watch my set, and I watch your set and you're not that good, don't be mad when I say, hey, you ain't that good. Just keep working at it.
I never done that. Like, go up to another comedian like, yeah, watch my set.
And you don't have to, because we watch your set.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then we're like, hey, Kermit, that shit was awful.
Yeah.
I think Ricky Ray's said it best when we were talking about new comics. He's like, I don't even bother learning someone's name until they've been coming out on the scene for like 6 months. He's like, and it's nothing personal. I just want to see that they're putting the time into it before I waste my time putting time into them.
Right.
And I think that's the fairest way. And I think Ricky, I've told you before, Ricky, the first time I met him, gave me the cold shoulder and fucking blew me off and everything. And then when I bumped into him like 3 years later, He was nothing but friendly and polite, and I brought up what a dick he was the first time we met. And he's like, what'd I say? I'm like, I'd gone up on stage, I did time, I came off, saw you guys hanging out, thought I'd ask how I did, and you said next time be funny. He's like, well, good to see you took my advice. And that was
But were you mad? Were you ready to fight? Were you ready like now?
you know me
ready to fight.
always, but
Like I had a comedian go on fucking Facebook Live to call me a bitch, my wife a bitch. My
What?
kid a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
how'd I miss this?
No, you didn't miss it. If I say the name, you'll know.
Oh, I think I remember
And
that.
so,
Yeah, and I'm in
Okay.
a
I
weird.
never saw that video.
I'm in a weird position now with that BS because I'm running
he
other
comes
bar,
to the other bar now.
and someone
And-
is mentoring him, and I'm like, oh
and so he comes
god.
to the other bar, and I was at the other bar a couple weeks ago.
No.
I had a blast, by the way. I
No.
had
You're
been
welcome.
to the other bar since April.
Yeah.
Really since April. And
Yeah.
I came out, I hung out, I saw him. I know he wanted to talk about it.
He was dying.
And that's
He was
past me.
dying.
I'm 42 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into making new friends
Yeah.
or making amends with old friends.
Right.
I'm over it. And he wanted to talk to me, and I let it go. But I'm at that point where my family is more important than comedy. So if you pop on the scene and you got something to say bad about my wife, I can't forgive you and go home to my wife and be like, hey, baby, he said he was sorry. No, it don't work like that. If you call my wife a bitch, that's it.
Yeah, he did.
That's it.
Yeah.
He did.
No.
That's it. And you can do whatever you want in Orlando. You just can't do it with me.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
No,
now,
he
now the
fucked
comedians
up.
that know him, that are friends with him, I'm still cool with them.
Yeah, I'm playing politics. I'm just like, all right, whatever,
I'm
dude.
still cool with them. But at the end of the day, do your thing.
No, it's the same way. I had a problem with one guy, and but it was personal between him and I. And then he mentioned my kids on stage one night, and it got back to me.
Yeah.
And he called me up the next day. He's like, "Look, man, I am sorry about my like even knowing the level we were
Yeah,
going back
and
and
then-
forth with everything else. He knew he fucked up by bringing up my kids.
Yeah, and then that-
I'm like,
And then that one guy asked for karate lessons from me
yeah, that's the thing,
to deal with you.
dude. I can take so much shit.
When
My
it's
own,
us,
but
when
when
it's
you bring
us,
up
when
my,
you bring our family,
you bring my family.
it's
It's that
over.
old Italian
It's
thing.
over.
No women, no children. You know.
We don't
Yeah.
yeah. No women, no kids.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's over with. And
Yeah.
so when my family got involved, I'm just like, look, this is my family. I can't deal with you no more because it's my family. I can't tell my wife I made amends with you after you call my wife a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, because I would never talk to my wife that way.
Because she said, "Don't come home till you were dead."
I like how Mike's talking about the brass knuckles in his
Brass
hand.
I've had the brass knuckles the whole time.
Yeah, but now you start doing that the signature, I'm
But-
going to whoop your ass.
I just think it's funny that someone that's 4 feet taller than me thinks they need karate lessons to kick my ass.
Because Kermit kill everybody. But
Kermit is the deadliest
but
guy.
I'm 13 years. How long you in, Mike?
Oh man, since
Stop.
like I said, started in '99, didn't go well, gave up until 2007, so 12.
And how long you in, bro?
6.
6. So we're the OGs. We're the old guys. And my thing is this: if you're a young comic and you're watching this podcast, just know we're listening. We're gonna watch your set. We're gonna listen to your set, but we're also gonna critique you. We're gonna tell you what we feel about it. And if you can't take that, you might want to quit comedy because you go to New York and LA, they're gonna hit you worse than what
Oh, so
Orlando
much
does.
worse.
You know,
It's gonna hit you worse.
the funniest thing is most of the times when I make it out to a mic and someone comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I'm so and so," I've already heard of you. Like I've already heard that you're being respectful at mics, or you
been a
you
dick.
flipped, or you're being a dick, or you've given shit to someone. Comedy is such a small
And especially
community.
in Orlando, it's very small.
What was
Word gets around quick.
Real quick.
The best was I showed up at Other Bar one night, and Ken's like, "Mike, come here." He's like, "This is Jacob. Jacob, tell Mike what you were just telling me." And he's like, "Oh, I was just saying I've worked with Dustin Diamond before." It was his first time at Other Bar, this kid. And he's like, "I've worked with Dustin Diamond before, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "You've worked with Dustin Diamond?" He's like, "Yeah, he's a bit of an asshole." And Ken goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, Mike's like Dustin's best friend." He opens for him on the road. And this guy goes, So I just go, well, let me give him a call and see what was going on, because he's such a good guy. I'd hate to think he would treat you like shit for. And then he's like, oh no. Well, actually, a friend of mine opened for him, and he treated him like that. I'm like, what's your friend's name? He's like, Josh. I'm like, what's Josh's last name? So I'm calling Dustin, and I'm like, Dustin, I'm here with a guy named Jacob. Did you treat his friend Josh wrong when Josh opened? And this kid's like, I don't actually. So I hang up the phone with Dustin, and the guy's like, look, I actually don't know Dustin Diamond. I'm like, no shit, you don't? And then Ken's like, man, let this be a lesson. Everybody knows everybody in this business.
That's the truth. Everybody knows everybody.
And then the kid went up and bombed,
and was terrible.
Never saw him again.
Never saw him again.
So, but it's like, dude, it's open mic. You don't need to give your list of fake credentials to get up here. All you gotta do is go up, and if you're on stage and you're doing well at all these open mics, I'm gonna hear about it right away. I'm gonna be a little bit jealous. So now I gotta be like, let me go find who this kid is doing so well.
Christoph Jean started working with us because Heather Shaw came up and said, yo, you know this Christoph kid? I've never heard of him. He's so funny. And I said, tell him to come to the other bar. He came to the other bar, murdered the first time I saw him. And I've seen Christoph do bad, but it wasn't his fault. That crowd was really shit. He's always done really good. And he's one of my favorite young comics. So we hear about comedians. I think comedians don't think that we hear about them. We hear about them. Like somebody come to me like, yo, man, oh my God, Kermit Gonzalez. You know Kermit? Yeah, I know. I've seen him before. He's so funny. And then I watch him, but like, I like this motherfucker.
He does all your flyers. Oh, okay. I really like him.
You know what I mean? So we do hear about comedians, but I don't know what it is lately where I guess, like I said, it's that the whole bullshit phase with the participation
rewards,
where everybody wanted it. They've been doing comedy for 2 weeks and they feel like I should be hosting. Why I ain't a host?
I get that a lot now.
But when we started, motherfucker be like, look, dog, you ain't ready to host.
I like the people that like assume that you work somewhere, like the improv. Like, Kermit, man, when can you give me a host day? Like, I don't work there. Nah, you lie. Like, I'm not lying, bro. I don't work there.
How much time we got left?
We got plenty.
Bro, if you listening to this right now, I do not book the improv. Yo, let's make the title.
I don't book the improv either, by the way.
We're going to make this title.
Man.
I just make the flyers.
Kermit and Ken don't book the improv.
I got to stop telling people that Kermit and Ken book the improv.
Listen to me. I get 20 messages a day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to get in the improv. They won't answer me. And I'm like, and I look at the comedian up, I'm like, dude, I don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
And I only book local shows. Like at the last minute, the GM be like, hey, I need a show for next Thursday. I put a show together.
Right.
I do not book the Orlando Improv. Take this part and make it a video.
Make it
I can send it to people. I do not book the Orlando
Just put it on
Improv.
loop.
I booked the host for Bonkers. I booked the host for Porky's. That's it. People hit me up all the time. Hey, man, what's the day? I need this month. I'm like, look, dog, hit Krista up. Hit the GM up. Drop Krista name, she'll kill me. I don't book the Orlando Improv.
And neither do I, so stop asking me.
Stop hitting me and Kermit up. We don't book that shit.
Mike does it.
Mike
That's
Hurley
right.
and
And I take a 35% booking fee.
And Alex Yu booked the Orlando Improv.
It's great. Now my phone's already beeping. We haven't even
aired
posted
that.
this
Yeah, we
yet.
haven't posted it yet.
Man, my wife gonna kill me when I get home.
Yeah.
Why, you want another one?
Man, I'm already drunk.
Nice. There's a fresh frozen glass.
I already took it.
Oh, did you take it? Okay.
Yeah, man.
Do you replace it with another frozen glass?
Yeah, the glass I've been drinking out of.
All right, so let's change gears real quick. Let's get some opinions on this because I want to talk about that. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that a meme turned into something that's reality, and that's everyone that's planning to storm Area 51 for. Is that shit real?
Yes, it's real, bro. That's why I sent.
Did you hear about that, Mike?
I've only seen bits and pieces of what you post.
Like, so there's like a Facebook like event page, and I think it's over like 100,000 now. That September 20th, people are going to storm Area 51.
Oh.
And demand the government to give them the truth about aliens and secrets of the government. And they're pretty much, the motto is they can't stop us all.
Oh, they can.
But the government, so the government is like, look, if you guys show up, because they have a planned date too. I guess they're gonna meet at like some Area 51's souvenir shop.
Yeah.
And they're all gonna meet there, and then they're all gonna just take a car, a bus, whatever, and just drive up to the front gate.
Like 500,000 people.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
And go, which I can't imagine anybody would actually do this bullshit. The government's saying, look, if you guys show up, we will open fire on you guys if you. And people are like, you can't stop us all.
No, but this is different from going in, like, petitioning outside the front of the White House on a public street. This is a secure military base where they're like, do not enter or we will shoot you.
Yeah. Dude, it's hilarious. Look, what the hell they're not gonna find anything either, by the way. It's
What,
just
you don't believe in aliens? I know
I don't believe they have it in that area. That's ridiculous.
Well, Ken Miller was in the White House for years.
Yeah, bro.
He knows.
He knows?
He knows if we got aliens out there at Area
And
51.
by the way, I got a video coming out about this. I'm currently working on it for me. But I just don't believe in aliens.
I don't believe in it either.
I don't either.
I have a hard time. Like, everyone's like, oh, I see a UFO. Like, that's the government that has the technology
And I love
to have a
Unsolved
UFO.
Mysteries. You know, that's my show. And it only happened in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Ain't nobody seen no fucking UFO in 2019.
No.
It's because they've done the research and found there's no intelligent life here.
Is that what?
They're like, these people are morons. We have nothing to gain from this
So you
civilization.
can storm Area 51 if you want to.
Get
Ain't
you.
nobody there but Tupac.
And he's working the gate.
He's working the key.
Nah, he got California Love remix.
Is that what it is?
That's it. That's in the new video when Kermit make it.
And then the latest thing that we could talk about, Florida's back on the map. People are flushing their drugs down the toilets, and now
making
meth gators.
I just saw the movie Crawl. So
we got crocodiles and
Crocodile.
I saw the
Nice.
movie
We got-
Crawl. So yeah, I
Nice.
believe that shit.
you believe that? And
yeah.
and what was another the goose or the ducks are going like get on meth too, so they're attacking people.
I can't believe so many people are wasting good drugs.
It's all Daytona.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
100% Daytona.
Like I don't know why they say
Which is
Florida.
also in the new video that Kermit ain't there yet. Daytona full of meth and drugs.
Dude, it's
bro.
all Daytona. Daytona and the comedians that go there.
Yeah.
So
Zach Bennett on fucking crack.
Oh, Florida.
so yeah, those are the two news topics. I don't know if you have anything else.
No, man, I didn't know Ken was going to be here today. I was just like,
Dude, so
Ken's
my
going to be there?
wife, we're going to Cancun this weekend. My wife out shopping.
Don't get diarrhea, bro.
And I went to a movie, hung out with Mitch Silver, and I hit Kermit. I was like, yo, Kermit. I did. He was at the movie with me.
No, there's
By
nothing
mistake,
wrong
by
with that.
mistake. And I said, Kermit, what's up? Let's go get a drink. He said, I got a podcast night. And he's like, you want to come through? I said, I'm on my way. And that's how this happened.
No, I went, you want to come through? He goes, you got drinks? I go, I got you.
All right, that might be true. That might be true.
Honestly, dude, I got done. I got back home. I had to mow the lawn. I had to clean the pool.
I got a Mexican that mow my grass.
and
Not me.
And I was like, I was going to cancel
By the
on
way,
you.
that Mexican is Kermit.
I was going to cancel on you. Like, I even sent, like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? Because I'm just beat. I'm exhausted. And then when you were like, oh, Ken's passing through, I'm like, well, now I got to
Now
go.
you gotta
Yeah.
go.
We don't get caliber like Ken Miller in the studio.
Motherfucker, y'all had Preacher here like a few weeks ago. Y'all
No, we
almost
had to
killed
go.
him.
We had
gotta
to go
go to him.
to Preacher.
And he lost his voice. It was awful. It was a
He was
horrible
like,
Cause
You
part.
hear
y'all
Justin
gave that
lost-
motherfucker like some coconut spray or some shit.
No,
He
that was
allergic
after
to
the
it.
fact.
That was after.
Yeah. No, I think that got him through the last show.
Nah, I would have missed this, man. You
I
know,
just saw
y'all-
Preacher just 2 weeks
y'all-
ago.
Yeah,
I know.
Me too, in Chicago. I went to Chicago for his taping. With his
Yeah, I
special.
wanted to go to that, but I couldn't. So we went to Vegas instead.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but I didn't get invited. So.
I didn't get invited.
No,
either.
he
I
just showed
went.
up to the
Yeah,
recording. Or you talking about Vegas?
both.
But you don't watch UFC.
Yeah, because no one buys me $1,000 ticket.
Hey, all right. Well, look.
Tomato, tomato, bro.
Hey, just because I held his pocket throughout the whole night doesn't
This-
mean I'm his bitch. I just
No,
You don't
that's
know-
exactly what that means.
Do they know what that means?
was holding somebody's pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared straight.
Yeah, that's where I learned it from. At
Hold
least
my pocket.
Hold
that means
my
you're
pocket,
that means
nigga.
you're someone's bottom bitch. So,
All right, I can't share this, man.
oh.
I done said nigga like 8 times.
Well, you just said it like that's 9 now.
Yeah, we appreciate you keeping it down.
Yeah, because normally I say nigga like all the time.
Because-
10.
Dude, when you're on the road with Ken, like Ken uses that word the way I use fuck. It's an adjective, it's a noun, it's everything.
I said it worked, but I believe it. I'm like, yo, you as.
And
You know what's funny? I don't even realize it till you mention
Yeah.
it. Like I was like, oh yeah, you did.
And then
didn't
you just get so comfortable about it that you start using it when
No,
you're with Ken.
that's
no,
you.
True.
That's you.
True. Listen up. So we're on the
You
road.
say nigga?
No, I do not say that word.
We're on the road and it's going back and forth. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then you get back around people and you forget you don't have Ken with you. And you're just like, blah, 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 N-word. And the world stops. I'm like, where's Ken? Ken, it was cool. It was cool 2 minutes ago.
My cigar.
You're on your own, kid.
Nah, he good.
Nah.
Mike ain't racist.
No. But yeah, no, that's one of those words now that like everybody does it. How come black people can say it because we can? And then after a while, you're just like, you know what? It's not even worth.
If you white, why you want to say
It's
it?
not even worth the
You can
argument.
Say anything, nigga.
I don't like when Puerto Ricans use it. I think it's annoying.
Yo,
Yeah.
Pedro called me nigga all the time.
Yeah, but that's Pedro. But other Puerto Ricans, I don't like. I don't say it.
Yeah, we talked about before, like Pedro and Kermit's brown privilege, how they get to walk right through.
No, Kermit got it, but Kermit won't use it.
I don't use it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, not
If
the
I
N-word.
get Kermit drunk, I think you may say nigga like once.
I don't
like,
think we
the
would-
whole
I
time
don't
we
think
No,
know.
we
I'm not
could-
girl black too, man. It feels wrong.
I don't think
I
we
told
can-
she like New Orleans black ain't the same.
But when you're having sex, does she be like, fuck me, N-word towards you?
No, she said calls me a spick.
Well, just...
That's what I like, bro. That dirty Kissimmee.
Be racist to me, girl.
Be racist.
Hey, Spick.
just know she says spick.
Go
but she's-
cut my grass, Spick.
Wet back. Come
She-
here.
Kermit got a
I got a lawnmower in the bedroom.
Like, girl.
She's screaming beaner, but she's thinking, just know that.
Yeah, man, I can't share this podcast. My wife gonna kill me.
Yeah, all right. We got to delete this whole thing. Good,
Yeah.
good thing we didn't press record.
Oh.
I already got a list of things I need you to go back and edit out.
Do you?
Hey,
You
for
get,
real,
Yeah,
don't-
it's
don't
basically-
edit, don't
it's-
edit shit for me, nigga. I had a ball tonight.
Yeah,
man.
it's basically everything Ken says.
I had a ball tonight, cuz.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get fired from my job tomorrow, nigga. What time is it?
Yeah, you still want to do that 11 o'clock call?
No, nigga.
No,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
No, I still do it.
Okay, cool.
I still do it.
All right,
Just
cool.
hit me up with the email, bro.
I will. All right. Well,
Well-
you know what? This was so much fun.
I
It was
had a
nice
ball,
having
man.
someone else who has good stories and intelligent conversation on this podcast. I'm
Yeah,
just
why
not
ain't you
used
been
to
on this
it.
podcast before, B?
You've been on this podcast before.
Yeah.
When we
How
were
was
at
it in the improv?
All right,
Yeah,
I've
we
been
can-
drinking, man. I don't remember that.
Well, this is episode 71. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ken Miller, for coming through.
Can I hit you with the Russell Simmons?
Wait, we're gonna do the sign out. You gonna do the sign out now?
Yeah, let me
Hold
do
up.
the
Let
sign out.
me do the plugs real
All
quick.
right.
As always, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify,
Podbean.
Podbean, Instagram, Facebook, MikeHurleyHeat.com, and as always, follow him on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Ken Miller on Instagram. And you gonna sign us out?
God bless you. Good night.